You ever had a day start with a sledgehammer crashing through your cabin wall before your first cup of coffee? Yeah, that happened to me. And the person swinging it, Alicia Thomas, our HOA president, had no idea she was attacking someone whose day job involves taking down criminals for a living. The irony was almost poetic, if you ask me. And all of this, over $2, $400 in HOA fees. Go ahead, drop a comment about the craziest HOA power trip you've ever seen, because trust me, this one's about to set a new record. Let me back up a sec and show you how fast the American dream can turn into a federal investigation. Name's Austin Bailey. 6 months ago, I thought I had it all figured out. Nice house in Maplewood Hills. Wife I adore. Good work as a legal consultant helping veterans fight the system. The cherry on top was the little guest cabin I built out back. Took me 3 months of weekend sweat and splinters. Lisa would bring out lemonade and sandwiches, and we'd dream up plans for the place, maybe a home office, maybe a haven for her parents when they visited. Everything was by the book: permits, inspections, even the landscaping. That's just who I am. Then along comes Alicia Thomas, new in town, instantly elected HOA president. I've dealt with my share of power-hungry folks after 20 years in the military, but Alicia, she put them all to shame. Imagine a realtor's headshot, blonde highlights designer, everything fake smile that never quite touches the eyes. Now add the personality of a cornered Wolverine. She started with petty stuff, mailbox colors, grass length. Next thing you know, she's inventing emergency assessments and treating our HOA like her own personal ATM. Most folks just paid to avoid the headache, but Alicia miscalculated with me. She thought everyone would just roll over and take it. One Tuesday, I'm in my cabin going through files for a veterans case when Lisa calls out with that tone like she just spotted a tornado headed our way. Out the window, Alicia striding across my lawn, brandishing a legal-looking document with Derek Morrison, the local contractor veteran, and generally good guy trailing behind her, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Alicia hands me a paper with all the bells and whistles, court seals, fancy fonts. But after years in the military, you get a nose for what's real and what's been whipped up in Microsoft Word at 2 a.m. This was the latter. According to her court order, I owed $2, $400 in overdue fees plus a $15,000 penalty, and if I didn't pay up by tomorrow, my cabin would be demolished. Now, $2, $400 isn't worth a war, and $15,000 hurts, but what really burned me was the principle. I'd watched Alicia railroad neighbors for months, forced sales, phony code violations, an elderly couple priced out of their home, a family who lost their deck after questioning her math. This wasn't governance. This was extortion with a side of intimidation. I told her flat out, not a dime until you prove these fees are legit. You'd think I spit in her face. The mask slipped, and for a second I saw the predator behind the pastel blazer. She leaned in, whispering. People who don't follow rules tend to find life here very uncomfortable. Derek, standing behind her, wouldn't meet my eyes. I realized then even guys who faced combat were afraid of this woman. Alicia smirked, checked her phone, and said, 24 hours, Austin. After that, the community solves the problem their own way. On her way out, she added, I'd be careful who you call. Small towns talk. That night, Lisa and I sat at the kitchen table, combing through the threats, the paperwork, trying to decide if we should just pay and move on. Pick your battles, she said. This isn't Afghanistan. But it felt like it. I'd spent my life fighting for freedom. Now some HOA queenpin was trying to run her own little dictatorship 2 blocks from my kid's swing set. Later that night, something made me look out the window toward the cabin, and there she was. Alicia in my yard at 2 a.m., digging beside my foundation with a shovel, glancing around like she'd done this before. She buried something about the size of a toolbox, patted the dirt down, then disappeared. I showed Lisa the security footage. What do you think she buried? She whispered. I had no clue, but I knew it couldn't be good. I started digging figuratively, not literally. Down at the courthouse, I pulled public records and saw a pattern. 17 properties demolished in 2 years, all with the same judge's signature, Judge Morrison, who, according to the death certificate I found, had been dead 8 months. Forged orders, every last one. And the victims, veterans, the elderly single mothers, folks least able to fight back, able to. The real break came from the last place I expected Alicia's own sister, Diane, who was also the HOA treasurer. Diane found me at the courthouse, hands shaking, eyes darting. "I can't do this anymore," she said. Over coffee 3 towns away, she spilled everything Alicia owed, $75,000 to some truly dangerous people. And the demolition scheme was her way to pay them back, forcing folks out, buying up foreclosed homes, flipping them for cash. The kicker: she kept trophies, photos of families leaving crying, everything. Her so-called compliance victories. We tried to catch Alicia red-handed at her storage unit. Stupid move. Alicia was already there, baseball bat in hand, eyes wild. She threatened us, but before things got ugly, Derek appeared with a crowbar, standing his ground. Alicia got a call from someone who clearly scared her more than us. Her face went white. "Tomorrow morning, your cabin becomes a lesson in respecting authority," she sneered. That night, I called the state attorney general's office. Patricia Williams was the real deal, a crusader for veterans' rights. She agreed to swing by the next morning, just so happened she'd be in the area. The plan let Alicia commit her crimes in front of the state's top law enforcer. Lisa wasn't thrilled, but we both knew we had to stop Alicia, even if it meant risking everything. Wednesday morning, Derek's crew arrived early, looking miserable. I pulled Derek aside. "When you start demolition, don't ask questions about who's inside. Just go with it." He gave me a look that said he thought I'd lost my mind, but nodded anyway. Patricia showed up, briefcase in hand, ready for her consultation. Alicia rolled up all business, barking at Derek to start. But things got weird when 2 black SUVs pulled up. Guys in suits stepped out, real muscle, not HOA board members. Patricia went pale. "You know them?" I asked. She shook her head, but started recording on her phone. Alicia went berserk, grabbing a sledgehammer and smashing my cabin wall in while Patricia was still inside. Derek tried to stop her, but Alicia screamed that this had to be done before they get here, whoever they were. Each swing looked like pure rage, but Patricia noticed something: Alicia was destroying evidence, not just a building. As the place came apart, Patricia got a call and stepped outside, flashing her badge, Attorney General in the flesh. The demolition crew froze. The men in suits looked like they'd swallowed their tongues. Alicia tried to bluster her way out, but then another guy walked up, flashed an FBI badge, Special Agent Hayes. They'd been investigating Alicia for months, tracking a crime network using HOAs to steal properties across state lines. The best part, Diane showed up with a banker's box full of incriminating documents she'd smuggled out. Alicia lost it, screamed at her sister, tried to run, but the feds cuffed her right there. Then Agent Hayes unearthed the metal box Alicia buried by my cabin, the smoking gun, plans, financials, lists of targets, proof of a sprawling criminal enterprise. Watching Alicia get hauled away, still blaming me for not just paying up, was almost worth losing my cabin. At her trial, every victim packed the gallery. She got 15 years. Her associates got even more. Diane, who'd flipped, got a second chance. The restitution paid out to every family Alicia hurt. I rebuilt my cabin bigger and stronger with Derek's help. Lisa's footage helped put Alicia away. And suddenly our neighborhood wasn't afraid anymore. The real kicker: all this led to something better than revenge. I started Bailey Veterans Advocacy, helping families fight HOA abuse all over the country. The case inspired new federal laws, Austin's law that put teeth in HOA oversight. Even Congress paid attention. Now I'm sitting in my new guest cabin, watching the sunset over the spot where Alicia tried to bury her secrets. In its place is a garden where neighbors actually stop to talk. My phone rings with calls from families looking for help, and every win feels like a nail in the coffin of folks like Alicia. Funny thing is, word gets around even in prison. Alicia tried to run her old scams behind bars, but was just another wannabe in a place where respect is earned, not taken. And that's the real legacy, not the destruction, not the lawsuits, but a community that stands together stronger than before. So tell me, what would you do if your HOA tried something like this? Ever fought back against a bully in a fancy blazer? Drop your story in the comments. Because sometimes justice means letting the bad guys destroy themselves, then building something beautiful from the ruins. If you believe in standing up for what's right, smash that. Let's talk about what real justice looks like in your neck of the woods.